Hey, it's Tony talking CarBiz. Today we got a brand new 2022 Toyota Corolla APEX edition. Hey, this is the interior overview. Be sure and catch my exterior overview where I covered all the exterior features. In today's video though, I'm going to go ahead and dive inside and check out all the interesting and unique features on the APEX for 2022. Let's get started. All right, heading inside on the APEX edition. This one has the gray interior, so they make it available with a couple interior colors, but this is going to be the gray interior. Let's take a quick look at the door panel. This is a very, very light gray. It almost looks white, but it is very light gray. Brushed aluminum door handle, kind of a silver trim here. Padded armrest. And we see the, hopefully you can see it in the video, the stitching on here is bronze colored. So it's designed to match kind of the bronze down here on the rocker panels as well. We do have power windows, power door locks, auto up and down on all four windows with a backlit switch here on the driver's window. Speakers down here in the doors and pockets down here as well, place for bottles. So pretty standard door panel with the exception of the contrast stitching. As we dive inside, take a look at the seats. So these seats are, as I mentioned, they're gray cloth seats, and they do have the bronze contrast stitching and then kind of a silver insert leading up into this silver racing stripe here in the backrest. Height adjustable headrest, height adjustable seat belts, side impact airbags. The seats are not power, so they're manual back and forth, very reclined, and then it does have a height adjustment so you can pump it up and down for different heights. Take a look over on the dashboard here. Again, we see kind of that light gray finish here with the light gray interior. 4 vents, up, down, left, right, surrounded by this silver trim, 1 on each side, and then 2 here in the center console. Down here there's just 2 switches. Dimmer switch for the dash light and automatic high beams on and off. There's a number of blank switches there. If you want to add some accessories, you could do that. The trunk release and the gas release is down here. Dead pedal, brake, and gas where you'd expect them. Of course, if it was a manual, you'd have the clutch down there as well. We do have a tilt telescoping steering wheel, so you can bring it in and out. It is not power, as you can see, but it is adjustable. Let's go ahead and grab a seat. So starting out the video, I want to let you know I've got my camera practically touching my nose, and I wanted to be able to show you the view from the driver's seat, kind of that bird's eye view. And I also have the seat all the way back just to show you how much leg room there is. I can't reach the gas pedal. I'm 5'7", so if you're a 6-footer, you should be fine in here. Yeah, I think it's built for a smaller person, but 6-footers can fit for sure. Steering wheel's leather wrapped. It's not heated. It's not even an option. Chrome Toyota badge, silver trim around the steering wheel. They've got the bronze stitching. Hopefully you can see it up here. Hopefully somewhere you can see it. That we saw on the door. So they're kind of tying that together with the bronze on the outside. Left-hand side, we've got controls for the information center, which is up here, your fuel computer and such. Bluetooth connectivity for your smartphone, voice activation. You can change or turn up and down the volume on the sound system. Of course, we have a driver's side airbag. Over here, we've got cruise control, dynamic radar cruise control, settings, lane departure on and off, and then our sound system settings to be able to change stations or bands. You can flip between AM, FM, and Sirius if you want to. The APEX edition does come with paddle shifters. So you've got your downshift here. You've got the headlight controls here. As I mentioned, we have automatic on and off and automatic high beams. Of course, our turn signals are here. One of the things that's great about those is there's a 3-second delay. So if you just tap it, it'll blink 3 times and then it turns itself off. If you click it all the way down, then it will turn itself off when you turn the wheel back to center. You've got your upshift paddle over here. Front washer wipers here with intermittent controls as well. Now, because this is the APEX, it does come standard with the smart keyless entry system, so push button start, keyless fob with Corolla, just keep that in your pocket. You can get in the car. You can also start the car just by having it on your person. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this seat up a little bit so I can reach the pedals, put my foot on the brake and start it up. I want to show you what it looks like when you start. But before I do that, you notice the gauge cluster is just 2 4 gauges. So tach and temperature on this side, speedometer and fuel gauge down the center. Super easy to read, very clear, very clean look to the gauge cluster. And then the information center is over here. Let's go ahead and start it up so you can see it. So a small animation on this side, a bunch of warning lights come on, and then our center stack's coming on over here, touchscreen with a warning, and then we can go into our audio modes, I'm sorry. Let's go back over and take a look at the gauge cluster. Of course, tach and temperature gauges are there. You can see the needles do light up in red. And then over here is our information center. 46 degrees out, 11 o'clock in the morning, digital speedometer, trip meter. There's some warning lights down there for seatbelts too. If you have little ones in the back seat, you can check to make sure they have their seatbelts on at a glance. But we can also use the fingertip controls over here to toggle through some additional information on there. So we've got our cruise control, there's our trip information. Here's our safety settings, so lane tracing assist, pre-collision, roadside assist, so it actually reads the road signs for speeds and yields and stop signs, those types of things. And so you can personalize that to your own individual likings. Heading over to the center stack. So this is all surrounded by a gloss panel with some of that brushed aluminum trim on the dials. It looks and feels very upscale. I like the tablet style multimedia center here. It does not obstruct your view and it's clear and easy to read. We'll go through a couple of the settings here just so you can see. If we go over to the menu, we have audio, phone, and a small app suite, a little bit of a projection app there as well. Go over to the audio settings. This is where we have AM, FM, and Sirius satellite radio. So you'll get 3 months of the Platinum Sirius satellite radio, no charge, and then it's a subscription fee after that. Bluetooth connectivity, of course, and there is no navigation on here. It's an app that you can install. So it's a pretty good sound system. I think the quality of the music is fine for the average person. If you're an audiophile, you're probably not going to like it. You might want to upgrade to the premium sound system or JBL if you can. Automatic heating and air conditioning, driver's side only for the temperature control. We also have front window defrost, rear window defrost, which, by the way, rear window defrost also heats up the outside mirrors to get the ice and snow off of them. The dashboard is the lighter gray. There's some warning lights, a little bit of brushed aluminum trim. You can see there's some speakers up in the dash and vents over here on the side. There's an airbag that pops out here, and then there's also side curtain airbags up there as well. Otherwise, the door panel's the same fabric with the bronze stitching. All of that's the same. And then you do have a glove box down here with your owner's books. The glove box does not lock. There's no key lock. And then tucked up under here, hopefully you can see it, there is a USB charging outlet, kind of out of sight, out of mind. You can plug stuff in. The one thing that the Apex edition does not come with is wireless charging, so you do have to plug in your devices. Now, if I throw this in the reverse, there is a storage cubby up here, but that's not wireless charging. It's just a place to throw your stuff, if you will. Center here is gray. There's a sport switch here for changing the shift patterns on the transmission, traction control on and off. More of that gloss black trim with the silver. And then as far as our transmission, I mentioned it's a CVT automatic transmission. A little bit of bronze stitching here. This is a vinyl shifter with some of that silver trim around the edge. And then as we move back to the center console, here's our parking brake. Now the Corolla does have electronic parking brake as well as electronic steering. And then way back under here, this is where we're going to find our dual cup holders. So 2 cup holders here. And then, as I mentioned, there are additional bottle holders in the doors as well. I'm going to go ahead and slide well, before I do that, I just want to show you the backup camera. So there's your backup camera. Nice big screen, really clear, easy to see. It does not have path projection, so if I turn the steering wheel it's not going to adapt to, you know, how I'm steering it, but it's still a big enough screen you can really see what's going on behind you using the backup camera. I'm going to go ahead and just show you the armrest. Not a big deal. It's vinyl wrapped, does have that bronze stitching on here, tying into the door panels and seats and such. It is padded, comfortable, pretty much room for one elbow, maybe two if you share, or if you like each other, I guess. There's a little bit of storage underneath here, not a ton, but there is a USB-C and the 12-volt charger here as well. And the USB-C is backlit, kind of a pale blue, so it'll be easy to see at night. Trust me, I have a Prius that it's not lit up in there, so you can't see anything when you open the armrest at night. Take a look overhead. We've got a passenger assist grip. We've got lighted vanity mirrors on both sides. We've got visor extensions on both front driver, front passenger. Overhead console, not really a whole lot going on up there, but there's a few things I did want to point out. Of course, we have our overhead lighting, and then we have our safety connect switch. So if you need roadside assistance, you're out on the road, you're having issues, press that button. That'll connect you to Toyota, and they'll get you the help you need. All part of the Toyota Care system. As far as your rear view mirror, nothing special there. There's no compass, and it's not automatic dimming, and it doesn't have a garage door opener, but it has kind of that old school manual dimmer there, if you will, or flip switch. So it really covers the basics up front really well, and I think it's stylish without being over styled. Let's jump into the back seat and check that out. Here's a quick look at the driver's compartment from the back seat. I think the visibility is pretty good from back here. I don't really feel like I'm sitting in a cave. The headrest might be a little bit of an obstruction, but overall it's not too shabby back here. Interesting thing about the Apex is the seats, both of these seats, neither one of them has a pocket on there. That's unusual. Most Toyotas have a pocket at least on one seat, and some have it on both. The Apex has no back seat pockets. Kind of odd. There is a storage cubby down here. There's no USB ports also, so no place to plug in your electronic stuff. Kind of a miss. Toyota hasn't really integrated that into every car, and I think they should. Dome lights up here. I kind of don't like its placement, because if I'm in the back seat and I turn it on, if I want to read a book or read something, I can't. I would love to see two lights, one here and one back here. I think Toyota should consider doing that when they upgrade the Corolla. Backseat door panels are the same with the bronze stitching, padded. There's bottle holders, there's speakers down there. We also have child safety seat anchors, 3 seat belts back here, and these seats do fold down. Unfortunately, you cannot actually check that. You can. You have to be in the back seat, push this button right here, and then you can bring that seat down. I do like the fact that I can fold it down while sitting back here, and I like the fact that the headrests do not have to be removed, unless of course that seat's all the way back, but it comes down pretty easily, and then you have access into the trunk. We'll go in the trunk in just a minute here. So it's 60-40 split, and then we do have, if I can get this out, we do have a folding armrest here that pops out, and that too has 2 cup holders. I like the fact that the armrest does rest on the seat. Some of them are suspended up like this, and then somebody pushes off and they snap the armrest. So I think it's better just to have it lay down on the seat like so. Works pretty nice. And these seats do have that bronze stitching with the silver here, and then the gray racing stripe going up the center. So that's pretty cool. I think the back seat's very comfortable. For 2 adults, 3 kids is probably the way to go. 3 adults might be a pinch. Let's go ahead and jump in the trunk and check that out. Heading into the trunk on the Corolla, I think it opens up nice and wide and tall, and the lid itself gets out of your way, so you're less likely to bump your head on that. It's got a nice low lift over height, and I think you could fit 2 sets of golf clubs with drivers across the back here. Now this one does have the Toyota first aid kit. That's a $25 option. It's nice to have if you don't already have a first aid kit. So for 25 bucks, you might want to order one. The trunk is completely flat back here, and we do have down underneath a temporary spare tire. So there's your jack and your toolkit, and then underneath that is the spare tire. The one thing I like is there's room back here for emergency equipment, jumper cables, first aid kits, blankets, whatever you need for the road, all set to go there. And then I mentioned that the seats fold down 60-40, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop those down. Now, the thing I don't like about the way the seats fold down in the Corolla is you have to come up here and push the buttons, which are way over on the side here, and then you can bring it down. So that's one kind of a pain point for me, is that I have to come up here to do that. The other thing is when the switches are here, if somebody were to break into your car, they can get into your trunk through your seats. So I think that's a security issue for me. Might not be for you, but once you drop the seats down in the back, you can see if you have big boxes, you're going to be able to put it on there without setting it on your seat and damaging it. By the way, your gas door is right here on the driver's side. And now with those seats down, you can definitely see you've got more room to run long items up and through the trunk. Also, there's a trunk light up here as well. And then I did want to point out the deck lid itself is insulated, and it does have an emergency release handle, glow in the dark, so if somebody does get stuck in your trunk, they're going to be able to get out. The one thing about the Corolla is under the hood, it's not lined like this, but the trunk is. I'd like to see a hood liner just to reduce engine noise to the driver's compartment. By the way, there's your backup camera, your trunk release, and you have 2 license plate lights under there as well. So that's your interior overview on the 2022 Toyota Corolla APEX Edition. Be sure and catch the second video, the exterior overview. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Feel free to share it out. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. This is Tony talking CarBiz. Thanks for watching.